Hey everyone, ever stop to think about the little everyday things we take for granted? Like, say, swiping your credit card at the grocery store? It's so commonplace now, right? But it got me wondering, what about way back when? Like, way back. So, here's a question that might sound a little out there. Did Isaac Newton accept credit cards? Yeah, the same Isaac Newton who, legend has it, had an apple fall on his head and then went on to basically invent gravity as we understand it, along with a whole bunch of other mind-bending physics and math stuff. The guy who lived from 1643 to 1727. Credit cards? Those little plastic rectangles that magically let us buy things now and pay for them later? It's a bit of a funny image, isn't it? Sir Isaac, quill in hand, peering at a shiny MasterCard. Now, before you think I've completely lost it, stick with me. This seemingly absurd question actually opens up a really fascinating window into how far we've come, not just in technology, but in the very fabric of our society and how we exchange value. Think about it, money itself has gone through so many transformations over the centuries. From bartering goods and services to precious metals, to paper currency, and now to these digital representations of value we carry in our wallets or even on our phones. To even begin to answer our quirky question, we need to travel back in time. Way back. Back to a world without electricity, let alone the internet, microchips, or sophisticated financial infrastructure. Imagine Newton's England. It was a time of horse-drawn carriages, candlelight, and handwritten ledgers. Transactions were primarily done with physical currency, gold, silver, and copper coins. The weight and purity of these metals determined their value. Bartering was also still a significant part of the economy, especially for everyday goods and services. Now, let's fast forward a few centuries to understand where credit cards even came from. The concept of credit, borrowing money to make a purchase, has been around for a long time in various forms. Merchants have always offered some form of trade credit to trusted customers. But the modern credit card as we know it really started to take shape in the 20th century. In the early 1900s, department stores and oil companies began issuing charge cards to their customers. These cards could only be used at the issuing business, acting more like a line of credit within that specific establishment. It wasn't until the 1950s that the idea of a general-purpose credit card emerged. Think about the Diners Club card, launched in 1950. The story goes that Frank McNamara forgot his wallet while out to dinner and had the embarrassing experience of having to call his wife to bring him cash. This sparked the idea for a card that could be used at multiple restaurants. Members would receive a bill later, which they would then pay. This was a revolutionary concept, a single card that could be used at various independent businesses. Following the success of Diners Club, other general-purpose credit cards like American Express and Bank AmeriCard, which later became Visa, were introduced. These cards developed the infrastructure we know today, involving issuing banks, merchant networks, and sophisticated systems for processing transactions and managing credit risk. The invention of the magnetic stripe in the 1960s further automated the process, making transactions faster and more efficient. And then came the digital revolution, with microchips, online processing, and contactless payments, bringing us to where we are today. So, let's bring it back to Newton. He lived and died long before any of these innovations even entered the realm of imagination. The very idea of a piece of plastic representing borrowed money that could be used across different businesses and processed electronically would have been utterly foreign to him. His world operated on a completely different economic and technological framework. Imagine trying to explain a credit card to Newton. You'd have to describe a system where a financial institution trusts you enough to lend you money up to a certain limit. This limit isn't represented by physical gold or silver in your hand, but rather by an entry in a computer database somewhere. When you want to buy something, you present this plastic card to a merchant who has a special machine connected to a vast network. This machine communicates with the financial institution to verify your credit and approve the transaction, deducting the amount from your available credit. You then receive a statement later, detailing your purchases, and you're expected to pay back the borrowed amount, often with interest if you don't pay it back in full within a certain period. His mind, brilliant as it was, would likely struggle with the abstract nature of this system. He was a man grounded in the physical world, and tangible measurements and observable phenomena. The idea of intangible digital value and instantaneous electronic transfers would likely seem like something out of a fantastical tale. Furthermore, the social and economic structures of Newton's time were vastly different. The level of consumerism we see today, fueled by readily available credit, simply didn't exist. The concept of personal debt as a widespread financial tool was also different. While borrowing and lending certainly occurred, it wasn't the ubiquitous feature of everyday life that it is now. The infrastructure required to support credit cards, things like widespread literacy for billing, reliable postal services for statements, sophisticated accounting systems, and secure communication networks, were simply not in place in the 17th and early 18th centuries. Even basic banking was still in its early stages of development compared to the complex global financial system we have today. So, the answer to our initial, somewhat silly question is a resounding no. Isaac Newton absolutely did not accept credit cards. It wasn't even a remote possibility in his lifetime. But hopefully, this thought experiment has done more than just give you a chuckle. It highlights the incredible journey of financial innovation and technological progress that has taken place over the centuries. From the simple exchange of goods to the complex web of digital transactions we engage in daily, the way we handle money and credit has been fundamentally transformed. Think about all the layers of technology and infrastructure that go into a single credit card transaction today. It's a marvel of engineering, communication, and financial organization that would have been unimaginable just a few short centuries ago. So, the next time you swipe your card for a coffee or tap your phone to pay for groceries, take a moment to appreciate the intricate system that makes it all possible. It's a system built on centuries of innovation, a system that Isaac Newton, for all his genius, could never have conceived. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.